Farscape Engineers, Inspector Summary Video. This is a repair video for a project here in Queens. First noteworthy issue is that this upper floor, the entire fire escape is sort of bulging. From the wall is bulging to a certain degree. It looks like we've got water intrusion, and this sort of needs to be inspected, and whether or not this upper floor will hold a load test is probably determined upon this wall. But the whole wall looks like it's been repaired and worked on in a manner that the bulge was sort of frozen in time and left in place. So with that being the case, we've got structural crack along the whole fire escape line, here, all the way down, and it keeps going towards the other side. So I don't know if there was a water that got in, but let's continue with the inspection. But this whole upper area needs to be inspected. But this entire upper platform is been compromised due to this wall, so that has to be investigated. As a separate inspection, we need to have this wall investigated because we've got some severe, and this is more for a mason's job. So typical throughout the fire escape shows that we've got some connections back into the wall need to be repointed. A lot of times, if this is going to be problematic, we can get this out of here, put a clip and tie into the brick, because railings just really need to be tied into the brick. All original hardware, so all corners, this corner, that corner, new bolting required. On the corners, the bolting required, but in the mids, not necessarily. But since this fire escape has not seen a major refurbishment, we recommend that 100% of all the railing bolts get done. Squares, original square head bolts on all the entire structure. So these, either put a replacement bolt in the middle and keep the originals if they're in good to excellent condition, there's no connect, there's no rust in between, or change these out, whichever is faster and less expensive to the client. 100% of these bolts need to be changed out. The flats, these are rivets, these can stay. But any piece of, if it's bearing, as long as it bears back into and crosses the flats, you don't have to worry about unless these are popped. Those can be fixed with a 1/4 inch bolt. But a lot of these look like they're in pretty good condition. We seem to have a problem with this double C channel here. Down below, there's huge blowouts on those going down. One of the biggest issues with these railings going down the stairs is a child can easily fall through this railing. So this railing up here needs to have 2 or 3 more lines added so that children don't fall into this pit. And the rails going down, should I fall, I'm an adult, but most likely if it's a child, the child can get through the left side as well as the right side and get trapped in these, and when the children going down. So we need 2 or 3 more lines on the left, 2 or 3 more lines on the right, in order for the children to not get trapped. Let's take a look. If we go down, all original hardware on the stringer clips, these hangers, original hardware, and they're already popped out. I can already put my fingers back here. 100% replacement, 100% replacement of these string hangers. As you can see, these are made and got a lot of rust. All of them have water that's been penetrating for 55 years. And going further down, you're going to see a lot of rust. And photographs show that rust has gone in there and compromised every one of these tread bolts. But regardless of that, you're not supposed to have, on a 55-year-old fire escape, you're not supposed to have original hardware still on these things. These squares need to be replaced with hex heads. So 100% of all the treads on this fire escape must be rebolted. The treads must come out. You must clean this area, scrape, prime, and paint the area prior to putting this tread back. And when you put this tread back, you need to silicone shut this whole edge here so that it's got no more water that can get in here. So upon completion of any repairs and changing of all the bolts, 100% removal of every tread, put it all back, scrape, prime, paint, silicone these treads so that water doesn't get back in these edges anymore. Bad design on these treads. Alright, going back, we're going to start repeating itself. You're going to see a lot of this cement can just be pulled out, as you can see here. Okay, so all this needs to be repacked, and these bolts need to be changed. These bolts need to be changed. The ones in the middle don't need to, but that's why would you leave those behind? But again, change those to 3/8. 100% change on all the rails. There's not that many. Cement, again, the biggest issue of cement is up above. Otherwise, throughout the whole building, I only saw about 25% failure rate on the cement. This seems to be an issue only on this side of the building. And I will discuss with Steve, the superintendent, as to whether or not they've had. But it looks like there's a lot of work that's been done. See, structural repairs. I got a structural crack here. It looks like this building has had some issues at the very top and not any further down. And this issue is all over here on this particular building, including that addition up above. So I'll speak with Steve about that. But there doesn't seem to be a major issue going down below on here. But definitely there's a huge bulge in the wall right here. You can see that huge crack. Structural crack here. There's a huge blast out right here. There's a huge blast right there. And this has all been photographed. There's a huge blast. So a lot of this, we can fix the steel implement going into the building, but we cannot deal with this bulge. And that's a issue that we'll have to discuss with the city official, with the building department, and also with the management company as to what they want to do about this part of the building on this side, because this will not hold a load test. And this will need about 6,000 pounds to be load tested on that. Okay, as we go down, it just starts repeating itself. Again, 100% of all the treads. Now I'm just going to start highlighting clips again. Those are the hangers. As you can see, this one is starting to need some cement caulking here and there. The cement stuff's getting a little bit better, but still, on this particular side of the building, this upper floor, cement, treads, 100% revolting, joint corners, bird's nests. But as we start coming down, look at the split on that 2 channels. As you get closer to that, you'll see it's very bad situation there. Again, repeat, change the volts. So now let's just talk about rails to make sure that nobody, if they were to fall, a child doesn't get lodged in any of these rails. Some of these side rails are missing. You know, this just needs something. It's very small. This is no more than 20 inches wide. So look at this. This important thing is that you can see the bolt, the shaft in the middle is gone, yet the head is still there. The nut is still there. Yet when you look up, it's all that rust. And this is what's happening in some of the joints around the building. That even though the heads and the nuts are still there, the shaft is gone in the middle because the rust has eaten it away. Look at the situation here with the shoe. I can put my fingers behind it. This hanger, I can put my fingers behind here. I can put my fingers behind this one. So there's been shifting that's going on, spalling away from the building. So we need to seal all these joints into the building because that's how water gets in. This is how water gets in here, see? So all this loose mortar is letting water get into this building and causing other damage inside the building. So let's take a look. Going down. Treads, a lot of rust, a lot. All that needs to be cleaned out. New bolts, when that's cleaned out, silicone shut this so that no more water gets in there. These are notched into the C channel. Again, repeat. Scrape and paint. One of the paint issues here, this fire escape is older than 1978. EPA rules do apply. You must be a licensed renovator to work on this fire escape. This fire escape is presumed to have lead and a lead-based primer. It's older than 1978. All fire escapes older than 1978 are presumed to have lead as per EPA requirements. So whoever's going to work on this fire escape, no welding at all allowed on this fire escape, and it's not needed because the entire fire escape is a bolted connection fire escape. And in order to scrape and paint this fire escape and deal with this building, you must have an EPA renovator's license because a lot of times the base primer on these fire escapes is lead. Going back down, treads again, 100% of all the treads need to be rebolted. This is a perfect example of another connection right here. See? Rust has stretched this out and that bolt is broken right there. Hangers, look at all the rust. They pull out some of the rust in here. All that rust is in here eating. It's already eaten that bolt. There's no bolt here that's connecting these two. The nut in the head is still there, but there's no bolt here. Just rust in this connection. And as we come down further, the cement is not so bad coming down. But again, any hairline cracks like that one should be sealed so that it doesn't grow anymore. And that's part of our repair. 100% of all the treads. There's 9 of these fire escapes that just basically repeat this issue. So, again, bird's nests, not necessary. That took that one off the steps. The ladder system. All original hardware holding this ladder together. So this ladder, all these original hardwares need to be flipped out. all the rust that's growing in between the strap that's holding it back to the building. So again, this fire escape has been painted, but it has not been maintained in 55 years. There isn't one evidence of any new bolts anywhere in this fire escape. So it's an indication that maintenance was not, structural maintenance is not something that happened. Again, see all the rust? See all the rust? Here. So this is just a more detailed walkthrough of just exactly what needs to be done. So, the last thing that we need to do on this is, because there's been some landscaping, this ladder over here needs to be cut. You're supposed to walk through this ladder, not step over it. So right now this ladder needs to drop about 3 feet, so that when you go through, you actually don't run into this. I had to climb up over this railing, and that's because the landscaping has been done to raise the level of the ground somehow, or it was never properly cut, and that was a mistake. So, in summary, 100% of all the treads need to be rebolted, 100% of all the rails need to be rebolted. The stringers, the top hangers need to be rebolted. About 25 to 50% of all the buildings look like the cement is about 25% plus minus cement. Except this building on the very top floor, we have a situation happening on the top floor, and I will ask the superintendent about that. Any questions? This is Fire Escape Engineers, Inspector Meneses, 800-649-3333. And again, 100% of all the major structural bolts must be flipped out or reinforced with a new bolt in the middle of them if there's no rust in the connection, whichever is faster and less expensive to the client. So on this particular fire escape, you're looking at 75% minimally rebolting of the entire fire escape, if not 100% as per the client's request. Any questions? Technical Fire Escape Engineers, Inspector Meneses here. Any questions regarding the bidding process, please call the management company, and all bids to the management company in a sealed bid envelope.